Hi guys, welcome to my week 6 video submission for Respawn Recruits. I hope you enjoy it. This is going to be a little bit of an insight to what I do right before I start stream. I call them my get ready with me's. Alrighty, today is a get ready with me educational style video. We are going to dive deep into how I usually do my makeup routine before I start some streams. We're going to talk about some products I use, we're going to talk about why I use them and how I use them. So sit back and we're going to watch Uni how she does her makeup. We're going to start off strong. I start with my eyebrows. I'm using the Kylie Cosmetics matte eyeshadow palette. I usually pick the darkest shade. I pick an angled brush and I just kind of fluff it into my brows. I will then fluff up a little bit, and then I will take a spoolie from another brush that I have on hand and fluff them up even more because your girl's got no brows. I will then take a concealer in my shade that I have for my skin tone and I will define them and sculpt them underneath, and then I will use whatever I have left over as a primer for my lids for my eyeshadow. Fun fact, if you have a primer on your eyes before you do a bright eye look, it's going to make those bright colors pop even more, and it's just going to make it look way more vibrant, especially if you're on camera. Next, I am going to use the e.l.f. Jelly Pop Primer. It's my favorite primer to date. It's super sticky, it smells really good, and it's the only primer that I have found that has held my makeup all day long without any real shifting or melting, and I just love it. We are also going to start this process called underpainting, which is where you use your cream and liquid formulations underneath your foundation. That way your foundation doesn't smear and pill when you're applying it. I'm going to start off strong. I'm going to use the LYS contour stick that I have in the shade Fair Medium. I'm going to place that underneath my cheekbones, on my forehead, my nose, and a little bit on my chin to kind of give me a more of a sculpted look. You're going to blend with a wet sponge, and I usually go up into upper motion and then down from my forehead. My nose, I kind of just blend it in. Chin, same thing. I'm then going to take my e.l.f. blush, my liquid blush in the shade Lilac, and I'm going to place it on my cheekbones and my nose just a little bit to give it a little bit more color because I do a lot more powder on top. I'm going to blend that upwards into my cheekbones and then into my temple. Next, I'm going to conceal, and now I use a brighter color for my concealer, and this is in the shade 20B from the Ultra Creamy Tarte collection. I usually place this on my eyes, the outer corner of my eyes, by my nose, and my forehead, and I just blend so it all kind of melts together with the other formulations I have. Next, I'm going to cheat and I get some tape for my eyeshadow looks because it makes it very clean cut and it gives me a very good wing when I do my eyeliner. For these, I use the Jeffree Star Palette Jawbreaker and the Juvia's Place Palette Candy Shop. First shade is going to be Gumdrop, and it's going to be a purple color, and it's going to go in the crease of my eye. I'm going to blend it so it's in the crease and then blends up just a little bit past the hood of my eye. So then when I use my next shade, you can see both the purple and the color that I'm going to use above. For some reason, the Juvia's Place palette has no names, but this one, like I said, is the shade Gumdrop. The next shade that I'm going to use is going to be a hot pink shade, and it's just shade number 10. And I'm going to use that shade right above the purple and blend the purple and the pink together and fluff it up just a little bit for the next shade that will be above the pink. Next shade I'm going to take is going to be the number 7 pink, and it's just a lighter pink of the hot pink. I'm going to blend all three so they kind of melt together and look very flawless on the eye. Next, I'm going to use my About Face Liquid Eye shade Replicant. I'm going to use a flat brush to make it easier to keep control. I'm just going to put that on my lid itself and kind of blend it into the wing. This is just the base for the other eyeshadow color that I'm going to pick because then it gives it more vibrancy. We're going to go back into Juvia's Place and we're going to pick shade number 8 as a topper, and then we are going to mix that with shade number 12, which is a shimmery blue, to kind of give a little bit of shimmer, because I can't do an all matte look. I have to have some kind of shimmer. Next is my eyeliner. I'm going to use my liquid eyeliner from Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's my favorite liner. It's super crusty because I use it every single day, but I love it so much I will use it until it's completely gone. So I usually just start with an outer wing and then I go to the middle of my eye by my pupil. I don't go a full wing, I make it a half wing. I feel like it just suits my eye shape better. That's going to be a preference to you. If you like a full wing, do it up, girlfriend, do it up. Alright, next we have my foundation, which is the About Face in shade F2 Olive. It's the best foundation for all skin types. I don't care what anybody says. It's super creamy, it's super dewy, but it's also matte. I just love it so much. I'm going to blend it with my damp sponge, the flat side in, so I get as much product as I can into my face. Next we are going to bronze, and I'm going to use Benefit the shade Hula. I use an angled brush and I go along my cheekbones, my temple, my forehead, and a little bit underneath my chin, and then my nose. And I'm going to go in with my blush, which is the Fenty Beauty What a Brat blush lighter. So it's a blush and a highlighter, so I get the best of both worlds. I'll use it on my cheeks and my temple. And then I usually just kind of take it down a little bit if I put too much on with my foundation sponge. That way I get a little bit excess on there so it's not as bright. I will then take my concealer a second time and I will use the same shade 20B and just kind of go underneath my eyes again to kind of help brighten them back up. I will then take some setting powder. I usually prefer loose setting powder. This is the About Face in the shade Bow. It's a brand new product. I absolutely love it and I've only tried it twice. I use a triangle sponge for my under eyes and my forehead, and then I use a big fluffy brush for my face to kind of give it a little bit more of a lighter aspect instead of a super cakey look. Alright, and then underneath my eyes I do use some more eyeshadow, kind of just to tie all the looks together. I use a small fluffy brush, and then for my inner corner I'm also going to do a different shade, but for underneath I just use Gumdrop and then that shade 12, or not 12, 8. And then for my inner corner I'm going to use shade Jawbreaker from the Jawbreaker palette again. And then we're going to go into my favorite part, which is the mascara. We are going to use the Benefit Bounce. We're going to do 2 coats. We do 2 coats on the top and then we do 2 coats on the bottom. Alright, and then the next and final step is going to be our lips. We are going to line our lips with the NYX Duck Plump in Flirty Flip. And then we are going to use the Rem Beauty Cherry Cola Lip Gloss. And then we are just going to quickly set our face with our Morphe setting mist with a niacinamide base, and that is it. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you love the way that looks.